city's Al Sabra neighborhood. There was no warning, no evacuation order. Helpless relatives say they can hear the survivors buried alive, but under constant attack are unable to reach them.
Israeli forces are now just 500 meters away from the hospital as they expand their ground offensive to fully occupy Gaza City, which Israel's military calls Hamas' main stronghold. Witnesses say tanks are advancing into the city center from the south and northwest. Israeli air and artillery strikes attacked by quadcopter drones and detonations of remotely driven vehicles laden with explosives continue to drive tens of thousands of Palestinians from their homes each day. El Shifa Hospital was once the biggest medical complex in the Gaza Strip. After 23 months of war, it now lies in ruins, pockmarked by crackers, with burned-out walls and bullet holes. But inside, medics are working beyond full stretch. Many of the beds do not even have mattresses. Medicines are in short supply, and the casualties are endless. Dr. Nada Abu Aro, an emergency specialist from Australia volunteering at the hospital, told the press that they were operating on severely wounded patients with minimum to hardly no anesthesias, no painkillers as well, with their limbs hanging with a piece of skin. Last week, she said doctors had to conduct an emergency cesarean on a 9-month pregnant woman whose head had been blown off. They managed to save her daughter. The baby was a bit bradycardic as her heart rate was low, she recalled, and that she was transferred to another hospital. Dr. Saya Aziz, an Australian anesthetist, described how a 6-year-old boy with a fractured arm and leg had been waiting for 3 days for an operation to place external fixators on them, but the hospital's only orthopedic surgeon had to prioritize more serious cases. Outside the hospital, Israel's tanks are advancing as the ground offensive against Hamas in Gaza City continues. One video posted on social media showed a tank at Hamid Junction in the Riman neighborhood, which is less than 500 meters from El Shifa. Another video showed troops to the south, only 700 meters from the city center. Palestinian journalist Fetai Sabah, who lives in the southern Gaza but owns an apartment in the city's southern Tel Havan neighborhood, said members of his family had narrowly escaped an Israeli incursion. Around 1 million Palestinians were estimated to be living in Gaza City before Israel announced its plans for the offensive last month. The United Nations says more than 320,000 have fled southward since then, while the Israeli military puts the figure at 640,000. The Israeli military has told people to head south for their safety to a designated humanitarian area in the Air Mawasi, where it has said medical care, water, and food will be provided. However, witnesses say the coastal Air Rashid Road is severely congested and that families are struggling for hours to complete the journey. The cost of evacuation has also reportedly soared to more than $3,000 per family, far beyond the reach of most residents. The United Nations has also said the tent camps in Air Mawasi are overcrowded and unsafe, and that southern hospitals are operating at several times their capacity. Best Orator reporting for BTV News.